You guys have heard me talk about fix and flips, wholesales, rental properties, right? Ground up, new construction. Today we're in the town of Brookline, taking a look at our co-living student housing. And I know it's extremely difficult to break into real estate investing right now, grow the portfolio, but I want to share 3 things with you that hopefully can help in that journey. Number 1, how to add value to any real estate project. 2, is student housing a profitable niche? And 3, lesson learned from a $1 million renovation. Guys, my name is Enes Sher with Whiteacre Properties. This channel is about real deals, real numbers, and lessons learned. Is that what you're looking for? If you are a local real estate investor, guys, subscribe so you can get notified on the next videos. And now let's jump right into the video. So let's talk about adding value to a real estate project. Right off the bat, we look at a lot of leads, guys, on a weekly basis. And a lot of the leads that we look at are just the numbers don't add up. You starting out, you have to do obviously the same exact thing, looking at the MLS, talking to agents, analyze deals, but most importantly, you got to look for ways to add value to any property that you are interested in buying. Let me tell you a quick story about this property and the thought process about how we got involved in it, why we bought it, and how we added value so we could keep this property as a rental. This was a lead that came from a third party that knows about us. They reached out. They said, hey, there is this property in Brookline. The lady is thinking about selling. And that's why in every message I put out there, I tell people that if you are a real estate investor, tell everybody what you do, because you never know who you're interacting with and you never know where that lead is coming from. This lead came to us, we looked at it, we're like, well, it's a single family home. We don't really buy single family for rentals, but let's look at it as a fix and flip. And the more we looked into the property, the more interested we got because we loved the location. And we looked at it, we're like, wow, Boston University is right down the street. We love where it's located. How can we keep this property? Well, it's a single family, it doesn't fit in our buy box, right? And you guys starting out, you gotta know what you're looking for. You do have to have a buy box because there's gonna be a ton of different leads that come to you and some of them are not interesting to you, it doesn't fit the buy box. This was one of them. We're like, the numbers never do on single family rentals in Greater Boston. Let's still go on the seller appointment. Let's get to know the seller more, the situation, the numbers, all of that stuff. You gotta look at everything, not just the location, which is super important, but also property condition, right? The number of bedrooms, like what can you do with it? And that's why I said, look for ways to add value, because you can do that by renovating the property. Sometimes you can add value by adding an additional dwelling unit in the back, in the front, on the side. Sometimes you can add value like what we did here. This property had a lodging license. You can rent all these bedrooms out, right, to anybody you want, and you can run this place almost as a hotel, right, if you wanted to. That was totally new concept to us. We didn't know, but we came to the seller appointment. We asked questions. The lady that was selling it, she was an elderly person, had run this place as a lodging house, as a rooming house for many, many years. Her parents had done the same. She had done the same. So she was like, hey, if you guys want, obviously we can transfer the license over to you. And then we got more and more curious, right? We went and talked to agents. We started asking questions about how much can we charge per bedroom, right? And the more information we gathered, we realized that in order to keep this property long-term, we would have to rent by the bedroom. So the lodging house is extremely valuable. That's how we added value, guys, to this project, by renewing the lodging house, by adding more bedrooms, and by doing a full gut renovation. This wasn't a property that we bought on MLS turnkey. Most of the times when the property is turnkey, you're paying top market value. When we purchased this property, it was a single family home with 8 bedrooms, 4 baths. We fell in love with it because it's right by Boston University. That got us really excited. We could have done a flip here, right? And the project would have looked a lot different, because anytime you do a flip, you gotta see what's on the MLS, look at comparable sales to look at what you should convert the property to, right? Buy it in as-is condition, make all the changes, make it really nice and sell it. But we looked at this and we're like, I wish we could keep it. Well, so with that process in mind, we decided to then do a full gut renovation and change this place from 8 bedrooms to 13 bedrooms, and from 4 existing bathrooms to now 9 bathrooms. Because we realized this single family home, which has a lodging house license, all bedrooms can be rented separately. So in our mind, we're thinking this is not a single family home. This is now a multi-family with 13 units. It worked out really well, even though we had zero experience with lodging house regulation, buying a lodging, a rooming house. That's how we did it here, and we went from, I think the lady was collecting $8,000 a month or $9,000 to now this property is going to bring in a lot more money. We'll do another video for you guys. If you are interested, comment below, and I'm happy to share all the numbers. Purchase price, renovation cost, rental numbers, which is very exciting to share because it's a lot more than we were thinking, right? That was a nice surprise to see rent being at a really higher number than when we underwrote the deal. The other thing when it comes to adding value, obviously this was kind of something that we didn't think right off the bat, but being in the city of Boston, parking is extremely valuable. This property is a corner location, so you got 2 parking spots on one side and you got 8 parking spaces on the other. The lady that sold us the property, she didn't take full advantage of that. I believe she had 5 parking spaces total, and when we looked at it, we were like, we're gonna do a full gut renovation. Might as well put in a new driveway and put as many parking spaces as possible, because a parking space is equal $300 a month, right? $350 a month. That's $4,000, let's say, just to round numbers up, a year times, right, 10, that's $40,000 just from parking. Those are big numbers, guys. So thinking creatively about where to add value, again, not only adding bedrooms, which can give you a ton of money per month, but also adding parking and change really the deal altogether. Anytime you're flipping a home, it's mostly kitchen and bathrooms, right? So you don't want to touch the heating system, AC, if it's working. You don't want to update all the plumbing and electrical, right? It's just mostly fixtures, new flooring, or refinish the hardwood floors and update kitchen and bathrooms, because that's what people pay attention to. But the key takeaway, whenever you're doing fix and flip, you guys have to reverse engineer the process. What I mean by that, if you are buying a single family home, you got to look at other single family homes and find out, what do the finishes look like? What does the property look like? And if you're targeting that number, you then at that point got to do the same amount of work, same quality of work to hit that sale price. Quick tip for you guys, something that we did here is that we took down 2 big chimneys. Fireplaces was something that they needed, right? And they built these huge, beautiful fireplaces. But when we're looking at a rental property, we don't want any fireplaces. Guys, fireplaces, obviously it's a fire hazard. You don't want them in the property. It allowed us to go from 4 bathrooms to 9 bathrooms. We were able to fit in this 4 or 5 extra bathrooms in that same exact location. So we removed the fireplace that it's not needed anymore, and we utilized that space for a full bathroom, which by having a bathroom in a suite, it's a lot more money. You can charge a lot more. Just a quick tip, anytime you can maximize square footage into finished space, do that. Anytime you can take a chimney to add a bathroom, do that. But it goes back to having a really good team player that understands and has knowledge in construction, like a general contractor that knows what they're doing, and an architect that understands where you can make changes that are not structurally damaging, right? Something that can really fit within the property well. Shameless plug though, come to our meetup event. Guys, we host a meetup event once a month in the town of Natick. So we are in Greater Boston, and we have usually somewhere between 50 and 100 people that come and network together. This is a great opportunity to just come say hi to me, but also to get to know other people, like-minded people that are doing big things in Boston. It's a really laid-back environment, but there's a lot of value in that room, guys, to make new connections, find deals, find contractors. One thing I don't want to leave out of this video for you guys is that because this is a rental property rooming house, we decided not to have a living room. We converted our hallway here, our lobby area, to a living room. We're looking at a property that an individual comes, they're completely on their own, they have access to their bedroom, their bath, their TV, and all they're sharing is a kitchen. It's all furnished. All utilities are paid by us. So they got Wi-Fi, they got electricity, they got all they need, and it works. It works for them and it works for us. We didn't set off as a student housing. That's not our goal. That wasn't the plan. Our goal was to maximize the rent amount per bedroom, get the most amount of money for each bedroom, because the more money we get in revenue in rent, it means that we can pay our mortgage, our expenses, and cash flow, right? We are investors that are going after cash flow on a great property like this one, because now this is totally renovated. We can keep it for a long time, right? Things are hopefully not going to break down anytime soon. And you're in the city of Boston where the values keep going up. It's a great city to be in. Prime location, updated property, good cash flow after paying everybody off, mortgage, insurance, property management, right? What else do you know, that's why we got into real estate investing. That was the goal. If you can carry a property like this long term, I mean, that's a dream. For us at least, that's a dream. People have this connotation, this idea that rooming houses are low price points, everybody pays cash, they pay daily. That's not what this is. This is a nicely done property. People are coming in and renting their bedroom for 12 months. But it's still management intensive compared to a 12-month regular lease on another apartment, because part of the regulations for the lodging house is that landlord, property management, we need to keep our common areas clean. You know, you got so much demand out there with traveling nurses, with people that are moving around, that they want short-term leases. I'm not talking weekly or daily or anything like that. I'm talking about 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. So with a lodging license, we have the flexibility to do that. We charge more money to a 4-month lease than per month that we would charge to a 12-month tenant, right? Because we got to charge a premium in case we go empty for the rest of the year. And two, now you got more turnover. So you got more cleaning, you got, you know, maybe some repairs, right? So lodging house definitely is very different, guys, than regular 12-month leases. But if you structure it right, it can be very profitable. So guys, follow me. I want to show you one of the finished bedrooms really quick. We are on the second floor now. This is what the furnished space looks like. A big king bed. Let me know if that was a good idea or bad idea, guys. Again, we are brand new to the co-living space, but we thought a big bed, a TV on the wall, some nice furnishings would be what people appreciate. And it looks like the feedback we got from tenants is that they like it. But let me know if it's a crazy idea to have a big bed like that. Out of the 13 bedrooms, 9 of them have bathrooms attached to it. And we went all black and white, kind of kept the design the same, glass shower doors, nice finishes, because that's what people like. But let's talk about lessons learned, guys, because personally, it helps me tremendously to be reminded of these lessons learned. There is value in that. A property like this needs a lot more planning than what we did starting out. So the main lesson learned for this property in Brookline for us is that instead of rushing through the project, instead of getting on that closing day and running fast, the lesson learned is to slow down. Anytime you do renovation, the value is in putting the work up front. Because if you slow down up front and you come up with a plan and you put the team together and you get all the architectural plans ready, all the structure drawings, all the contractors lined up, right? If you have clear ideas up front and you have a schedule and you have a budget, your project is going to be a lot more successful than to do what I did, which is kind of get an idea what we're up to or what we're gonna do, right? This was a new project, new thing that we had never tried with a rooming house, and we wanted to do a full gut, but then we didn't have the money for a full gut, so we said, let's do a half gut renovation, and then we just run with it, right? Because you got these high interest loans kicking in on day of closing, you don't want to wait. That's something that I've been working a lot last couple of years, to just slow down and really put the effort up front so everything goes according to the plan, and then, you know, we don't rush towards the end or we don't rush through the project and don't miss out, right? Because when we rush, we make a lot of mistakes. So I hope you guys take this as a lesson in your journey. If you guys don't know how to create a schedule, if you don't know how to create a budget, which is extremely important, you got to reach out to other people that know how to do that. Come to our meetup event. Again, plug for our meetup event, but there's people in the room that are doing this type of renovations, right? So you guys can ask questions about the cost of renovation, the cost per square feet, like who can be a good GC for your project, and then start on the right foot. If you don't have the budget accurate, well, you are borrowing from your lender the wrong amount. Initially, we thought we're gonna spend $500,000 here to renovate this property. Now, don't forget, this is 6,500 square feet of finished space, roughly 7,500 of unfinished space. At $200 a square foot for full gut renovations, that's over $1 million, right? We're at $1.2 million more, right? Just some easy math here. We had budgeted $500,000 because First of all, we just weren't clear of what the finished product was going to look like. We didn't have the experience. A rooming house is a very unique product. Initially, we started out with 8 bedrooms and 4 baths. That's what the previous lady had, the seller. We wanted to keep the same, don't change the layout, keep the sprinkler system, right? Don't do a lot of the structural work. That was our goal. Something happened, something that was a curse and a blessing at the same time. A curse initially because we struggled as we went through it. It was extremely painful. A couple years back now, December, I take my family out for a trip out of state, and I got a call from one of the neighbors saying that we have water coming from our basement. I pull over and I realized that we had our sprinkler system pipe freeze. No heat in the property that night, extremely cold night, sprinkler pipe freezes, and then it defrosts, it leaks. At that point, we had done some framing, we had gutted half of the property, and we had done a rough inspection. So we had new electrical, new plumbing in the property, but we had decided not to renovate or replace the sprinkler pipes. But these were pipes that were like 40 years old, right? The sprinkler system was working fine, but was extremely old. So we had full basement, we got the city coming out, they closed the water on the street. We are pumping out the water from the basement in the sidewalk, and it's freezing temperature, so the whole sidewalk in Brookline is slippery, right? That's another issue, because if someone falls, they're gonna sue you as a property owner, right? As the developer. So all these things that are going through my mind, I'm like this is crazy. You guys cannot keep this property the condition it is, because now you have water damages. You have to fully gut the whole thing. But it was a blessing, and actually was a huge thing that now looking back, I'm like, thank God it happened, because instead of the number of bedrooms we had back then, 8 or 9, whatever that was, now we have 13 bedrooms. We fully gutted the whole place. We took the chimneys out. We put more bathrooms, where we went from 5 or 6 bathrooms to now 9. And if we keep this property long term, all these bedrooms and bathrooms is going to be extra revenue. So all the money that we lost by fully gutting it, months and months of delays, because now we installed new sprinkler, new fire alarm, all of that stuff, but it's a brand new property. And looking back, and this is the main thing, guys, I want to share with you, is that if we had slowed down and planned better, I was going to have everything planned out up front to do a full gut renovation from day one and maximize the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. And most importantly, maximize them as suites. Because what I learned from renting in Boston is that people love to have their own bathroom and not share it with others. And most importantly, plan the amount of money you got to borrow from your lender. Because for us to go from $500,000 to $1 million in renovation costs after everything is said and done, guys, that's a huge, huge jump, right? And either you got their own cash that you can use. In our case, was a combination of bringing more lenders on board and our own capital, right? To really get to the finish line. Now we have a long-term loan, and we can really execute on our plan, which is get all the bedrooms occupied and keep this property long-term. I just wanted to also remind you guys that we have done another video when we were halfway through the property, and I do talk about my thought process starting out with this project, the lessons learned to that point. So I think it's valuable for you to go watch that next. And if you want to stay in the loop to what Whiteacre is up to, what I'm up to, go in the description below and sign up for our monthly newsletter. We send 1 email a month to you guys with everything that we're up to, from properties we're wholesaling to events that we're doing, to the free real estate classes that we host at our office, to the meetup events. That's what I'm most proud of, putting together these events where we got guest speakers and just really good people in the room that are doing big things. So guys, I hope to see you there. Comment below. Let me know if you really want to know the numbers on the property, from specific renovation costs to what we are getting per bedroom here for these furnished units, to what did the property appraise for now that we refinanced it, how much did we buy it for, right? I can share all of that, but I'd love for you to comment below, and I can do a video to cover all those numbers. But I want you guys to subscribe, so it takes a second. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and catch you guys on the next one.